Kia ora. Our group is William Hall, Matthew Stewart, and myself, Thomas Dodds. I'll now pass you on to Matthew.
South Africa opposes New Zealand as a country on a much different scale, with a population made up of 58 million with a variety of cultures, languages, and religions. South Africa is a developing country faced with large problems of crime, poverty, inequality, and corruption. A quarter of the population is unemployed, where the unemployed are faced with living on less than $1.25 a day.
Moving forward, Argentina is the one country out of the three being analysed that has a high economic risk. The economy entered a recession in 2018 and has been continuing throughout 2019. This is due to high borrowing costs as well as high inflation. The country does benefit from abundant natural resources as well as having a low crime rate and a well-educated workforce. However, the country only rates 83 out of 190 on the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business survey.
The management and cross-cultural training in expatriates are vital for a positive entry into the South African and Argentine market. Our expatriates will be utilised in order to obtain market-specific knowledge, job-related management skills, and understand the cultural differences in order for our firm to grow. South African expatriates cross-cultural training will consist of understanding corruption and the large power distance, doing this by practical work trips, entering the country, visually understanding cultural attitudes and the impact corruption and power distance has on the country. Expatriates will obtain knowledge around dangers in South Africa and how they differ from New Zealand to ensure our business plans and goals are not interrupted with health and safety issues. In order for South African expatriates to perform at a high level in a dangerous country, training schemes will be implemented teaching ideas of security, health, and well-being. Argentinian expatriates training regimes would differ from South Africans by focusing on strong communication aspects such as language and haptics due to the respect-orientated culture. We will employ expatriates in which have some understanding of Spanish as well as enforce compulsory Spanish lessons to ensure connections are built strongly and business ideas are conveyed correctly, respectively. Haptics are important due to Argentina being ranked first on the close social distance to strangers, which demonstrates their family-like culture. Haptics trainings and adaptations will consist of strengthening greetings, farewells, celebrating success, and therapeutic contact.
A New Zealand firm will be accustomed to dealing with other local businesses and management. Hence, when they expand internationally, the general societal principles of other nations will be evident. South Africa has a high power distance culture, where respect for those similar to themselves is strong, and it proves difficult for outsiders to form corporate relationships with them. South Africa has a power distance ranking of 49, according to Hofstede's insights. It may be more difficult for the New Zealand firms to form a relationship with their South African counterparts due to the hierarchical-based society, and this is a crucial step in the negotiation process. Another aspect that will affect the negotiation process is the high level of corruption with South Africa. The New Zealand firm will need to be prepared for a higher possibility of unsolicited practices such as bribery when negotiating. Hence, they must have plans and contingency plans in place. Communication in Argentina varies differently in many aspects to typical New Zealand conversation, especially with regards to kinesics. Argentinians are much more emotive with their body language and the use of arms and head to express emotion. The New Zealand firm will have to familiarize themselves with these customs, such as kisses on the cheek, to optimize relatability and overcome any communication barriers with their Argentinian clients.
Argentina and South Africa both have many beautiful factors that encompass the countries. However, there are several underlying aspects that are shown throughout the countries that prove a challenge. Compared to New Zealand, it is shown that Argentina and South Africa have a far higher political risk, with South Africa scoring 84 and Argentina scoring 83 out of 190 countries. Compared to New Zealand, scoring the top position at number 1. This means that the formal institutions of the country are managed less effectively compared to New Zealand due to the weaker government. Relating more specifically to this, we turn to the challenge that presents itself when discussing the difficulty of developing a corporate social responsibility program, or CSR, that will best suit itself for the organisation. A CSR program relates to the organisation's configuration of principles of social responsibility and how the organisation relates this to the society it is operating within. With the high political risk, it can allow some organisations with unethical morals to bend the rules in order to satisfy their needs, regardless of the repercussions. With less government presence, it can be easier to ignore the social responsibility that organisations have.
With this transition into our candidate markets, it is important to note implications in which we may incur. Culture shock is an important idea in which we will need to take into consideration, as training schemes and workshops will not give the full effect of transitioning into another country for our expatriates. The implications of the negotiation phase can be immense. The New Zealand firm must take into account that the culture and negotiating practices found in the two foreign markets of Argentina and South Africa will be unfamiliar, and they must be managed accordingly. The mismanagement of this phase could be the difference between securing the internationalization deal and not, especially with the view that local ideas may work in the home country, they will not transfer across cultures.
A recommendation for the organisations is to rely heavily on the stakeholder theory or stakeholder management. This would give incentive for the employees operating within Argentina and South Africa to maintain company values, as any wrong or unethical actions will affect not only them, but all stakeholders involved within the organisation.